Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining for yet another Dyness NASDAQ webinar. In this webinar, we are targeting to focus on the low voltage products, and then the Dyness factory team will have very insightful information about their product. We will maybe have a look a little bit more closer to the product, how it's made, what's inside, and then common scenarios, how you can make a cluster, bigger applications. And also at the end, you will have the troubleshooting, common scenarios, and then at the very end, we'll be happy to answer your questions and answers. So before we start, I would like to introduce our our panelists or speakers today. So on the Dyness team, we have Kingsley, marketing manager of Dyness. Hi, Kingsley. And
Hello.
then we have Oscar. He's pre-sales manager in Dyness. He will be the main speaker today. Hi, Oscar.
Hi. How are you?
Thanks for joining. And on our end, it's going to be me as a moderator on NASDAQ. I'm the founder and the managing director of NASDAQ. Hi, everybody. And in our also company, Mr. Naman will be joining from our Dubai office. Hi, Naman.
Hello everyone, I am Naaman Asper. I am electrical engineer at NASDAQ. I'm with NASDAQ, like we can say, 3 years. I'm responsible for MENA region because of my ability to communicate in Arabic. So also if you have any question you can share to us to sales@nasdaq.ae. I will be happy to respond after the webinar to any your question. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Naman. So for our participants, there are 2 points I want to highlight. First of all, there is no chat option in this webinar. So for any questions on your web screen on the bottom right, you will see Q&A, or in some screens it may show just like a question mark. If you click on that question mark, you will be able to send your questions, and then depending on the volume, we will try to answer as much as possible of those questions. For those whose mother tongue is not maybe English, there is also an option to see what the speakers are saying. This is a machine translation. So on your left bottom of your screen, you will see a small button marked as CC. So this is default language is English. If you click on it, you will see it. And then there are also other automatic translations to Spanish, German, French, and Italian. I believe our audience will prefer Arabic. Unfortunately, this platform doesn't have Arabic yet, but those languages and at least English is available. Yeah. Before again starting, the feedback from our customers based on the previous Dyness webinar is positive, and they are happy. There are so many questions, and then because of that, we decided to do a series of webinars. So this is the second one, and then in the new year we are planning to do another webinar focusing on the high voltage products. But today agenda is mainly for the low voltage products. So we encourage all of our customers to please write to us if you have any questions, or if you wish to learn or ask and then have another webinar about another topic. We'll be more than happy to arrange it for you. So without further ado, I'm giving the word to Kingsley to talk about Dyness. Thank you.
Well, let me share the screen. Hello, could you see my screen?
Yeah? Yes, we can.
Okay. Thanks for Mr. Toksi and Newman, and thanks for NASDAQ. I'm Kingsley from Dyness. I'm Kingsley, marketing manager from Dyness. And next, please allow me to introduce Dyness. Dyness founded in 2017, and we are a global pioneer energy storage solution innovator. Rely on advantage technology and robust product R&D capacity. Dyness had established a comprehensive products line for 4 series, including CNA and residential products. Our global headquarters is in China, Suzhou City, and the products and R&D center is in Xi'an, Shenzhen, and Taizhou. And now we can offer 3 gigawatts of capacity, and we also have 9 overseas product chains like US, German, Netherlands, and Brazil. And Dyness inside. Sorry. Oh, okay. Dyness insisted on provide safer, reliable, and high-quality products, and at now Dyness has served over 500,000 family users in over 100 countries and regions. And we hope our products will give you a pleasant installation and user experience. And our process manager, Mr. Oscar, will introduce the Dyness products later. And wish you have a nice meeting. And thanks again.
Thank you. So I will bring on the next part. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Oscar, and I'm the process manager for Dyness. Mainly in Middle East countries and markets, I'm in charge of pre-sales technical supporting, including installing and also for the technical training. So when we are having this discussion of Dyness solution and its products, if you have any problem or maybe you have any question to pose, you are welcome to reach out in the Q&A section. So Dyness has already been 7 years in the ESS market. We have a very full solution from kilowatt hours to megawatt hours, from residential side to commercial and industrial side. This is our products matrix till now in the Middle East countries. So I will show you around, and we will focus on the entry products BX51100. This one B4850. This one is a 58 volt with 50 ampere hour battery cell. So it is 2.4 kilowatt hour for the capacity. This one is 51.2 volt with 100 ampere hour battery. And with 0.5C and 1C type. This one is Ultra Cube. This is an all-in-one box with a 2.4 kilowatt inverter and 4.8 kilowatt hour battery. And this one is good for the outdoor situation. These two are also for the outdoor situation. This is 10 kilowatt hour and this is 5 kilowatt hour with both 0.5C for C rate. This is PowerBurst G2. This is 10 kilowatt hour for indoor usage. And this is Power Break. It is 14.3 kilowatt hour. Also, it is indoor usage. This Tower series, it is high voltage stackable battery. This product is also spread in Europe and also in Americas. For CNI part, these three is our rack-mounted high voltage battery for commercial and industrial scenarios. And also this one BF100, it is a typical battery cabinet. Because of the cabinet has a protection function, so it can be used outdoor, and also it has AC cooling inside. These three down here, they are all-in-one cabinets. Inside there are PCS module and also battery module and also MPPT. So for the CNI scenario, these cabinets can cover the most of the situations. In the next part of the webinar, I will talk about the installation and also the structure inside of the all-in-one cabinet. Besides all these, we also have the mobile application. The mobile application, there are two types. For mobile application on your phone. You can search Dyness on Google Store or maybe App Store in iPhone. This application allows you to monitor and also to control, to remote OTA your low voltage or high voltage residential products. For example, the tower serials and also the BX51100. If your BX511 has a Wi-Fi dongle, then your products can be OTA in remote distance. You can upgrade your customers' products in your office. This EMS system is mainly for DH series. This is for high voltage to calculate and to analysis the usage of the system. So today we are focusing on the entry-level products BX51100 to talk about the situation and the solution and also the bundles.
Sure. Oscar, can I
Yeah.
please cut you there? First of
Yes.
all, some of our participants are reporting that the Q&A button somehow disappeared. So we are gonna try to fix that. And then also Naman wanted to talk about Nasdaq a little bit. Can we please switch back, and then Naman also introduces Nasdaq, and then we go into the technical dive while we are trying to bring that Q&A button back. So if it's okay,
No problem.
Naman, please talk about Nasdaq, and then give the word to Oscar while we are trying with the team to bring the Q&A button back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kingsley. Thank you, Oscar. Hello all. Thank you for your time to join our webinar today with Dyness. I will give you a brief about our company before diving into today's topic. Nasdaq established in 2010 in Dubai. We are main distributor for tier 1 brand in solar business. We have different offices and warehouses. Our main office and warehouse in Jebel Ali in Dubai, and we have office in Istanbul, Turkey, and we have office in Namibia, Walvis Bay. Why we choose Nasdaq? Nasdaq is main distributor for, as I mentioned, for big product. So we always give you the quality. We ensure that the product is tier 1 and top rated on the world. We also have a qualified team, engineering team. Also in logistics, we have a very qualified team in logistics, so we can support you not just in the select the product and after sales support. We also can support you in logistics. So if where you are in the any country in the world, we can support you. Also, our service, as I mentioned, we can select the items before help the customer to select which items he need to his project. Second, we sure sell the project, and we can also help them in the logistics ship to the end user. Plus the warranty after support, we give the warranty. We can also solve any issues that he has in the project. I will also, this is that what I mentioned, like our office in Dubai responsible for MENA country, for Istanbul office responsible for Turkey market and CIS country, and for Namibia office is responsible for Africa market. This is the brand that we are distributor for and main distributor. Like for panels, we are distributor for Longi, Jinko, Ulica. For batteries, we are distributor for Sure Dyness, Vico. For inverter, we are distributor also for Huawei, Solis, Deye, Ates, Lux Power. This is our contact detail in both office in Dubai and Turkey. So if you have any question or any requirement, we will be happy to help you and offer the best solution to depend on your project. Now I will give the word back to Mr. Oscar, and I hope now the question and answer is solved, so we can also continue in the webinar.
Yes, please continue. We are just about to hopefully fix it.
Okay, so I will continue about talking about the products. So till now, Dyness has tested many of the famous brands in Middle East countries. For example, like Deye Solis, Groat, So Far, and also Mast. This inverter, they all support Pylon Tech protocol to communicate the inverter together with the battery. So for these brands that I show on the screen are tested in our lab. So certainly it has when you are buying Dyness, this brand of inverter can connect it with Dyness, and also for the other brands, for example, like Felicity, I didn't show on here. They support Pylon Tech protocol, but we still don't have a official testing yet. But in the actual experience, we support the connection between the Dyness battery and the Felicity inverters. So for till now in the market, there are already many kinds of lithium batteries here. So I will show the differences between Dyness and the other batteries. I picked some of the important specifications in the list here. You can see Dyness has many advantages than the other brands. For example, like Sacco, like Wico, Pylontech, GSL. They're famous in the market. Maybe they have one or two aspect that is very impressive, but the Dyness has a most suitable specifications in the market. For example, like expandability. Our battery DL5.0C and BX511. It has a very good expandabilities, which is 256 kilowatt hour and 154 kilowatt hour. For till now, the residential side, the power range is always comes from 5 kilowatt hour to maybe 50 kilowatt hour. This is a very typical range for residential scenario. And for CNI, people always use like 60, 70 to maybe 100, 200 kilowatt hour. So as is known to all, high voltage batteries are always more expensive than the low voltage one. So Dyness has offered a better choice that you can use a low voltage battery for some of the CNI projects. And also we support 10 years of warranty. So in the warranty term, if you have a problem in the software, we are responsible for fixing it. And if you have a problem with or any failure in the hardware or the firmware, we will call our engineer to replace no matter the PCB board failure or the battery cell failure. And also because many of the installation site, the space is very limited. So we also support different types of installation methods. For example, like wall-mounted, floor standing, and the self-made cabinet. We will provide a recommended size and dimension. And also for rack-mounted, for the self-made cabinet, I will show you afterwards in the pictures. So for the last point I want to mention here, the voltage range. A bigger voltage range matters a lot in the actual usage of battery. For example, when the inverter it has no PV power and no grid power and also no genside power, so the whole system is an island. It has no income power from the other side. In this situation, when the battery voltage will go down very quickly than the normal situation. If the battery voltage range is bigger, it shows that this battery can suit harder situation, harder environment when there is no income. It can use a longer time. So like comprehensively, Dyness has a very better performance than many of the other brands in the market. So this is our highlight product today, BX51100. These are the basic specifications. For example, 5.12 kilowatt hour and 0.5C for charge and discharge. And also here, the expandability that I mentioned. It can support up to 30 units and 153 kilowatt hour. The expandability comes from the stability of the BMS. That is to say, if the BMS is more stable, so it will support a bigger expandability. Till now, only DL have 32 pieces of expandability, but their BMS is not developed by themselves, so they still have many of the limits. But for Dyness battery, we have 30 pieces in parallel connection and also 50 pieces in parallel connection. We support a big range. This battery, and for the protection level, this battery is IP20, and for only indoor use, the temperature is the most important elements for battery. So please keep it in mind that don't put the battery directly under the sun. And for the cycle life, we are using a grade A battery cell with a lifespan with over 6,000 cycles and a 10-year warranty, like I mentioned. For this battery, it is supporting an optional application monitoring and also remote OTA. For these features I mentioned before, module design, various mounting methods, and high safety LFP, this LFP battery, and it has a wide compatibility. So this page shows our smart application, how it works, and how you can see the parameters. For example, this page here, it is showing your customer. One customer can have one power plant, and if you click in a single power plant, you can see this page. What is the situation and what part for any of the parts, if it is working normally. You can see here the battery side, inverter side, load, and grid. It will calculate and analyze your data. When you click into a single device, for example, you click into the inverter, you can also see the real-time power and total yield and monthly yield for the installers, our partner installers. We will grant you a higher priority account for you to see the battery cell level of the voltage and the current, if any of the battery cell is working on well. This 2-page is how you can adding new products. For example, the batteries and the inverters. The next year we will have our new inverters, so it will show here, and also for the CNI all-in-one cabinets can also be supported. And as I mentioned, this application can be connected with the Wi-Fi, but also you can add your device by Bluetooth. Just stand aside and scanning the nearby Bluetooth devices. So this is the Wi-Fi dongle that I mentioned in the previous page. This one is the inside the BMS board. If you choose the option with a Wi-Fi dongle, so we will put a Wi-Fi dongle and we will weld it on the BMS board. So you can see out of the box here a little Wi-Fi module and an antenna of the Wi-Fi.
Oscar, right away,
Yes?
question. When you have one, and then if there is a cluster, let's say, in parallel 5 or 10 pieces, so this module will be reporting the overall voltage and overall charge levels of the whole cluster. Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct. You only need one. You only need the one Wi-Fi dongle on the master battery and it will report all the situation of the master battery and all the slave batteries.
I see. But if this is an extra, like an optional, but for the Bluetooth connectivity and the reporting with the app, you don't need to do anything. Just out of the box, it's gonna be working.
Yes, correct.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, the question and answers button is back. It is restored. Sorry about that small issue. If any questions, please don't wait till the end. You can, our party, the watchers that can send the questions right away. Thank you.
Okay, so we will show the interface of the battery here. All the ports and I will explain you what is for. These two are the power ports, positive and negative. You connect it by the power, and here is the power switch. Turn it on, turn it off. This one is switch button. If you want to activate a battery, turn on the power switch and hold the switch button for 3 seconds. Then this battery is activated. And by the way, if you are installing a parallel connection system, the first battery that is connecting to the inverter is the master battery. So for the whole system, you only need to hold a switch button for the master battery for 3 seconds, and the other slave batteries will also together be activated. This one is DIP switch. DIP switch is for the battery BMS to communicate with different kinds of inverters in different baud rate. For example, if you want to connect this battery with the DL inverter, you have to put this DIP switch like 0, 0, 1, 0. This is also shown in the user menu. You can check that. For different brands, we have different DIP code. And these are SOC LED lights, alarm lights, run lights to show the running status. This is the communication ports and the can-in, can-out for paralleling and for communicating with the inverters. This is the dry contact. Dry contact is a functional contact to receive DI/DO signal. So if you have any third-party EMS system, and this system can send out turn on, turn off signal like automatically. So through this port, it will be supporting a smart control function. As I shown here, the IP switch button, indicators, and the communication ports. RS232. This communication port is mainly for the Wi-Fi dongle. And this is the communication port for CAN and RS485 dry contact. This is the ground point. So this is how you do a parallel connection for DL5.0C and also for BX51. They are the same. If you want to install such a system, so you have to remember several points. Number one, you have to connect the communication for the first place, and then you have to make the ground connecting, and then you can connect the power to the power connection, positive, negative to a DC breaker. This DC breaker is recommended in any situation. So there is a standard here. If the DC current goes over 160 ampere, it is recommended that you use a combiner box. If the system is under 160 ampere, so you can use only a DC breaker. And please keep in mind that you connected to both cables in a single DC breaker, because this DC breaker is for the protection, the safety of the battery if the inverter has a surge or shock. And you can see here, for different brands, we have different IP switch code, like the year so far, Victron, which is very famous here, use 0010. For example, like Schneider, which is not so popular here. Also, we have a option 1010. So if you don't have any certain confirmation, if you can connect the inverter with the battery, you can turn to our partner Nasdaq, and we will have a discussion.
Sure.
So
Oscar,
here I will.
yeah, before moving to that, many customers having similar questions. I would like to share my screen for just a second,
Please.
and I'll give it back to you. So many of our customers are asking for, I'm sorry, just give me a second, please. This window, yeah. All right. So many of our customers are asking what's in the box. All right. And then we literally need to open every time and assure the customer all cables to make this unit operational is actually included in the box. So this is the product list that is coming in from the user manual. And then these are the actual, if you can see my screen, I'm showing you now, trying to show you a bunch of cables. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen, but
Yeah.
it is not.
Yeah,
The
so
picture
this is coming with the product. And then very famous on the internet, we even have an unboxing video. Look at this. So it comes very nice, very professional. So then I'm just going to hold here. So these black metal parts are for the wall mounting. So it is coming inside the box. You don't need to pay or buy separately. So as you see, the cables are taken out.
Sir, we're just saying the photos.
Really, 1 second, please.
Yeah, you shared maybe they're just a folder.
Yeah. Stop and share. Yeah, this platform, you need to do it again and again. Okay. Can you see my video now, the screen?
Yes, sir. The video now, yes.
Yeah. So this is from our warehouse. You see the cables are there, and these metal parts are the connecting points for wall mounting. So it's already coming in the box. You don't need to buy it again. So it's very nicely packed. I think it's a big file, so it's downloading. Anyhow, and then of course the product is protected, and this is the actual product. So what you see in the photo, maybe you have doubt. It looks really nice to me because I've seen so many different battery products in this business, and then this one is one of the ones that I would put into my house, right into the house. It's that beautiful. It's white cover. It doesn't look like anything industrial, and coming with all the cables and all the mounting for wall or for the ground mounting. You don't need to do anything. But if you want to do like a bracket on top of each other, then you need to buy a separate bracket for that. Yeah, all right. So that is what I wanted to share. Yes, Oscar, back to you, please.
Okay. What I want to mention is that together with the pack coming, all the cable, wait a second, I will show you here. Together with the pack, all the power cable, the communication cable, and the power line cable will be included, and also for the wall mounting brackets will be included. So when the battery arrives at your home, the only thing you have to consider is that when you are installing, if you need a DC breaker or a combiner box to connect it with the inverters. It will be a painless installation for you. So I will talk about the technical features here. Before we start all of the things, I will bring on some common sense here for high voltage and low voltage batteries and systems. So we all know that divided by a different voltage platforms, we have a high voltage battery and a low voltage battery. Now we are focusing on low voltage battery. But for high voltage battery, it is connecting to HV inverters, and it has some. It has two types of HV inverters. It has high frequency and power frequency inverters. This frequency means that the transformer frequency inside the high voltage inverters. When the frequency is lower, it is high, we call it power frequency. If it is higher, we call it high frequency. The power frequency looks like a all-in-one cabinet, as I mentioned in the products family page. It is always bigger, and it is always suitable for the factories, and it's always more sustainable. And the high frequency one, it is smaller. The whole machine is smaller. For example, like the 50 kilowatt high voltage inverters, but it's less sustainable and it's more expensive. So high voltage system is always more expensive than low voltage type, because a higher voltage can reduce a transmission loss. And the power range is always goes from like 20 kilowatts to 2 megawatts. This is a little bit bigger, and the cost is larger than a LV system. So we can see here an LV battery dividing from a different power range. We can call it LV residential and LV CNI. For LV residential, maybe the power range is from 5 kilowatts to 20 kilowatts or maybe 20 kilowatts. And for LV CNI, and when you are parallel connecting, the power range comes from 20 maybe to 120 in this kind of range. So because the whole components cost is lower than the high voltage system, so it has a better cost efficiency, and also because the voltage is lower, so it's stabler and safer than the other kinds of systems. For normal LV battery, the battery cell voltage always is 3.2 volts. When it's charging or discharge, the voltage will range from 2.8 to 3.8, maybe 3.2. 3.6 as a normal range. 3.8, it will trigger the protection. So this is how we divide a HV or LV system. So Dyness till now, we have a very strong and reliable. It's not only R&D technology, it's also for all the technical supporting R&D ability. We are very strong at it. Till now, for every single product, we will spend 8 or 9 months on a single product, at least 8. So we will try to develop and try to confirm the products, if it can work some well, and the availability. And for a single battery, we have a 120 patents on the hardware aspect, and also for software aspects, we have over 20 copyrights. For example, the application, the EMS, we develop the EMS by ourselves. So this has a very good advantage that if a battery it is using a third-party EMS, a BMS system, okay, if you have any problem or any failure on the BMS system, you have to turn to a third party. It will take a longer time than we do. And these are the production line pictures. this is the testing section, testing process. For example, we are buying the welding machine and many of the production facilities from ABB and Schneider. And also in the production line, we are using SMT production line. So for within 1 year, we can reach like maximum 3.5 gigawatt hour of a production capability. For every battery, 100% battery, before coming out of the factory, we will make a aging test. But for sure, it is a simulated one, aging test, and also for a functional test to check every battery, the voltage range, if it is well, or any of the function works on well. Maybe if there is one failure or not, we will put it out. And what I want to mention now is that for over 500,000 of users in all over the world, we still have 0 accidents that happened.
You said 0.
Yeah, for accident.
Okay, very good. 500,000 units in use and 0 accident.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But yeah, for after sale issues, there has to be. It is normal, but accident 0.
Perfect.
For the stocks, you can see here, this is the DH200Y, the liquid cooling all-in-one cabinet that I mentioned. We have 4 base in China. In Suzhou, Taizhou, it is for testing and producing base. So here, this picture comes from Taizhou. They took the picture in Taizhou. They are producing a big project in other markets, and for in Xi'an and Shenzhen, we have our software development base, and in Shenzhen it is our CNI facilities testing base lab. This is a picture of our production line when the battery module is coming to beam. So what I want to mention here is that for every battery cell, we will put on a QR code. So if there is any failure, we can see for every single battery cell if there is anything wrong, or maybe which loss it is coming from. You can source the battery cell until into the factory about the information when it is produced and how it's produced and why it's broken. Here is our stocks. You can see this part. It is power connection cable, and for the BMS. This is a process before the battery cell is welded. We use the laser to clean the terminal here to burn out the dust and all the other materials for a better welding result. So here is the internal structure of our battery pack. What I want to mention here is that these 3 batteries are only for testing. So when the battery we deliver this battery on your hand, these cables will be wrapped in a tidy clean pack. So I will show you the structure. These 4 are the communication ports, and you can see a green thing here. It is the communication PCB board. Here's the power cable connecting to every battery cell, and you can see the battery on the battery cell. There is a black or green or orange cover. This cover is a different design from any other battery brands. For example, like DL, like Pylontech, they don't have this kind of a design. This cover is for static isolation. So when the battery inside it has some kinds of break-in or any kinds of physical abuse, this cover will protect the battery cell from a short circuit. So these are some project cases in all around the world. For example, like South Africa, Colombia, and Lebanon. This project locates in Colombia, in South Africa. It is a very big self-made cabinet, and connecting to a Victron inverter. Here inside it is we have the smart meter, and also we have the combiner box. So it is a 25 kWh system, and they need to self-made a cabinet because they want to put it outside of the door. So we offer them a recommended size and dimension. So they made this kind of project, and these two located in Lebanon. You can see they are connecting to a Lux Power and the DL inverter, and the DC current goes through a DC breaker and it goes into Lux Power inverter. This is 3 battery goes into a bus bar, because in this situation the current maybe it will be 150. So a bus bar is recommended for a proper division of the current through a DC breaker goes into 2 pieces of DL inverter. Here we have a very big project. It is located in South Africa. It is 20 pieces of BX51100. So it is 100 kWh, connecting to 6 pieces of Victron inverters. Here it is the bus bar together with the combiner box. The battery pack, if you are parallel connecting, it is recommended that you install it in the rack, because it's better for cooling. But our battery, it has a very good control and protection in the temperature rising, and also for a charge and discharge rate, depending on the temperature, the real-time temperature. So if you put them together like this, it's okay, no problem. So these are a very typical situation for like residential site, and also for a small commercial site. Because what I want to mention here is this project is mainly for a medium size of the mosque. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, our battery has a very good BMS, and this BMS is good at protecting the battery cell. This is the one of its ability that I want to mention within this battery. So between the battery, you know that when you are charging a single battery pack, inside a single battery pack there is 16 battery cells. So when you are charging it, there will be maybe because of the charging order, maybe because of a shock or maybe a surge, there will be a imbalance between battery cell. For example, this battery cell, the SOC, it is already 100%, but for other battery cell, they are still they are not full charged. So in this situation, it will charge the passive balancing inside our BMS. So when this function is triggered, the 100% SOC battery cell, it will start to discharge, and the other battery cell will begin to charge, and when they reach a average level, a equal level, this function, this protection will be turned off. So this function will protect the whole battery from overcharge or over discharge, like this kind of situation, and also it will also improve the whole level of the whole battery. So you can fully take advantage of the battery capacity. Our battery passive balancing function, when it's triggered, the voltage difference between every battery cell is under 10 millivolt, and also this function supports maximum 30 cells. So for a 5 kilowatt hour battery, inside it is only 16 cells. So it will be a very practical function for daily use, because for a battery pack, the most dangerous situation is that maybe it's overcharge and over discharge. These two kinds of situation, it will cause the heat abuse and also a physical abuse of a battery. So
Oscar,
yes?
can I ask a question before
Please.
anybody asks? So this passive balancing is a very important point. Maybe our customers not getting into that much technical detail, maybe not aware. So when we are talking about 5-year or 10 years warranty, then we are giving a warranty that is going to function. But also there is another the important point to consider from a customer perspective, from an installation and EPC, even the distributor perspective, is that after 5 years or after 10 years or close to 10 years, what will be the usable battery capacity left after 10 years? So everybody's selling those products with almost the same warranty, but when you compare a product with passive balancing like the Dyness and compared to another one which doesn't have this function, yeah, after 10 years, maybe the other product will be still can charge and discharge, but because, if possible, could you please focus on the right hand side image, especially the charging photo?
This one?
Yeah, if there is a chance to focus on it. If not, that's okay. So then some of the cells will be, because of the overcharging, then will wear out earlier than the others. So there will be what is called memory effect. Those cells will not be able to charge 100%, whereas maybe others can actually reach 100%. And if you don't have the passive balancing, your battery will only charge up to the dead cell, which is the maximum you can charge. So there is a limitation. So then the passive balancing is super important, because even after long time of use, all your cells are going to be wearing at the same rate. So let's say one will have a usable life or capacity of, let's say, 60%, whereas when there is a passive balancing all that life, then you will end up with maybe 70 or 70+% usable capacity at the end of the product warranty life.
Yeah. So as the situation that you mentioned, after the 10 years of warranty term, at the end of the battery warranty time, after like our test result in the lab, it was still left 70% of the lifespan
Wow.
of the usable capacity.
Yeah, I think our customers and the viewers will very easily relate to this. when you buy a new mobile phone, let's say Samsung, iPhone, whatever, then the charge lasts for almost 2 days in the beginning. But after 3 years, 4 years of use, then you can hardly maybe make half the day. So it is exactly the same problem that we are now talking about. I wish my phone will still have 70% battery capacity after 10 years, I wish, but it doesn't, that consumer goods are, although high tech, but not as high tech as the passive balancing that you reached in the lab. 70% is an incredible time after 10 years, incredible capacity.
The battery cell inside maybe the iPhone, maybe the other kind of cell phone, the battery cell level is quite different from ours. For example, like the battery cell in a battery bank or maybe in iPhone, the battery cycle lifespan is always like 500 to 600 cycles. It is the best it can do. This is the first aspect. For second aspect, we as the manufacturer, we recommend that when you are using a battery, set the minimum discharge battery SOC to 20% rather than 10%. 20 to 100% is a better range to protect the lifespan. And also, I see one of our customers is asking that do Dyness offer active balancing as an actual option? Actually, I would like to explain the differences between passive and active balancing here. Active balancing is that in 7 multiply 24 time in all daytime, the active balancing will real time monitor the SOC of every single battery cell, the voltage level. So in this situation, the active balancing system will be demanding more structure copper and demanding and it will be causing more rate of failure and it will be causing more cost. That's why we are not using. The active balancing system is only being used widely in telecom battery, which is not our realm. So we are focusing in a better rate of failure and a better cost efficiency. So we choose passive balancing, and this is a more mature technology till now. What's the cooling technology you used in this battery? For the LV battery, for the residential battery, we are not using any air cooling or maybe liquid cooling. We just control the battery temperature through the BMS board, because when the battery is using the hottest situation is that when you are charging it. All right, so we limit the C rate like 0.5 C or maybe 1 C. This kind of C rate can make a good balance between the performance and the temperature. The only thing you have to pay attention to is that don't put the battery directly under the sun. This will be okay. Mr. Arthur, I hope my answer can explain your question.
Yeah, I think the correct answer is that is a passive cooling. And also don't forget active cooling will involve some cooling fans, which themselves will draw energy from your battery. So you want to use that energy at night, to light up or use a TV or a refrigerator instead of cooling the battery pack itself. So the active cooling will be applicable more for the commercial and industrial, which is CNI for short applications. But I suggest, Oscar, let's continue, and then maybe we go through all. There are many other questions. Maybe we can answer all of them at once.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like to explain about the recommended bundle. Since our partner Nasdaq, they are dealing with the inverter, so I will be focusing on the inverter and Dyness battery now. For like normal home usage, when you are installing a DL inverter, For example, if it's a 5 kilowatt, so it is better for you to install some more of the solar panel, considering there may be some kind of loss. For example, the sun angle and the dust on the solar panel. And for the inverter, the rate between the solar panel and the inverter, for the nominal situation is 1.5 times. For example, 5 kilowatts, you can put on 7.5 kilowatts, but in the actual experience, in actual test, 1.2 times is the best. So that's why we put 6 kilowatts. And you can put one piece or two piece. It depends on your options for a better power output. A single BX51100, the output power will be 0.5C, which is 2.5 kilowatts. And these two kinds of solution is a very handy choice for a small house and maybe a small villa. And here, as I show you, the 8 kilowatt, we will like to recommend like a 2 piece or 3 piece of battery, and this kind of battery and the bundle needs a bus bar. At least you will be needing a bus bar. If the whole system comes over 160 ampere, but here it is still 150, you have to put on a combiner box. And because the DC input, it has 2 DC input, so we would like to recommend that you put maybe 2 or maybe 4 battery, and you have them into 2 DC input. Here is the new type 20 kilowatt products in the market. Now they are coming out the maximum 20 kilowatt low voltage hybrid inverter. So for this kind of situation, we can recommend maybe like 4 pieces like a 20 kilowatt hour, and also maybe 6 and maybe 8. And this kind of solution can support both residential side and commercial side. The power range is quite suitable for this kind of scenarios. And for this kind of situation, the most recommended battery pieces is 8 pieces for a full power output range. So because we have multiple kinds of battery and multiple kinds of BMS, if you are buying BX51100 and the customer is requiring a bigger capacities in the coming future, if the system works under 1 year, we can make a expansion. For example, like this kind of battery can also connect it to 5 kilowatt hour battery, can also connect it to 10 kilowatt hour battery. You have to add on a Dyness LV combiner box, so this system can work on well. For this picture, is showing that our DL5.0C, the coming products in the next year, can support 50 pieces to parallel connection together. So if it is a small factory, like they are asking for 200 kilowatt hour system, DL5.0C is also a considerable solution. So you can see here, this is our combiner box, and this is our flexible racks. The installation is very easy. There are 2 small brackets. Put it in the front and put it in the back, and the installation is over. It will save you a lot of your time. So in the troubleshooting section, I would like to explain one very important question that is always missed in many of our installer partners. Here you can see when you are installing the inverters together with the batteries, okay? After you finish the power connection, the communication connection, and the ground connection, you have to open the parameters on the DL inverter. If you are using the inverter, select lithium mode and select 0, 0. Because 0, 0 is a communication protocol of PylonTech. Most of the battery brands now is using PylonTech protocol. So remember to select 0, 0 in lithium mode. For the inverter, there are many other modes. For example, there are also battery voltage mode. This mode will tracking the voltage of the battery. It will not communicate with the SoC of the battery. In this situation, you cannot monitor the SoC. You cannot see the current. You cannot see anything. You can only see the battery volt out of the battery cell. So when this kind of situation happened, please remember to check the battery settings. If it is lithium mode, and if the mode you selected to 0, 0. And also, as I mentioned here, if you want to protect the battery, it's not only Dyness battery, it's also like many other brands. You can use battery SoC range from 100 SoC to 20 SoC. This will keep the battery for a longer lifespan. So these are all for my presentation, and we can start the Q&A time if you have any problem.
Sure, thank you, Oscar. So before the Q&A, I just want to talk about our stock level. Of course, if somebody will be watching this video 3 years later, it's not going to make any sense at all. But just for the sake of this time frame, we are keeping Dyness products in our different warehouses. Right now, we have stock in our Rotterdam warehouse and also in our Cebeleli warehouse. For the BX51100, we have almost more than 3 containers in stock, so more than 1,200 pieces in stock, as well as we have the 14.3 kilowatt hour product, which is a very brand new product. We didn't talk today, low voltage power brick. We also have I think 1 container of that product in our stock too. This is important, but not that important. So the important point, especially for our Middle East and Africa customers, as you know, the Dubai or Cebeleli is a very common port on the way from China to Middle East and on the way to African and destinations, and it's a very hot place. So what we didn't discuss today, there is also active, the temperature the effect on the lithium batteries. So if you don't use the battery, if you are just storing them, there is a self-discharge happening on these batteries, and then that discharge rate increases by time and by temperature. So over 35 degrees, this discharge rate goes almost brings the battery down to zero charge less than 3 months. So to prevent this, we are keeping all Dyness and all battery products in Cebeleli for our Dubai warehouse in a chilled, which means air-conditioned warehouse, which the temperature is below 27 degrees all year round. So even in the summer when normal temperature goes to 47 degrees, our all batteries in stock are kept below 27 degrees. So when we ship it, it is as much as fresh as when the product leaves the factory doors. So this is a very important point. Many customers, of course, rightly checks the price first, but there are many things that will affect when you buy the product, what's going to happen, how that product is going to perform. So from the design, like what Dyness does, using top brands cells with fresh and brand new cells, all the way to how do you ship, how do you store. So that's why I'm super excited and super happy to work with Dyness that we have a end-to-end cooperation, then we can control the quality that our customers receive when they receive the product. So thank you very much again. So back to the questions and answers. I have a couple of one of our customers asking, I'm using Growat SPF 6000 connecting 4 BX51100 batteries. What is the circuit breaker I need to use? Can we use polarized circuit breaker? So Oscar, I think this looks more like an installation and EPC type of a question. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 pieces of circuit break, 4 pieces of BX501. For every single piece, the DC output will be 50 ampere. So 4 pieces will be 200 ampere. But this also depends on the Growat inverter DC input. If the 2 pieces of Growat DC input, it is every piece, for example, is 50. So together they are 100. So you only have to put 100. If you want to be safer, maybe 120. And if the DC input of 2 pieces of inverter together, it exceeds 160, then you have to make a combiner box for a safer situation.
Okay, thank you. Another question, we talked about the passive balancing. One of our customers is asking, I think we answered that. Do Dyness offer active balancing as an extra option?
Yeah, I think I already answered that.
Yeah, I answered that. So,
yeah.
For commercial and industrial applications, like, correct me if I'm wrong, for like when we go to DH200F, which is a 215 kilowatt hour battery, I think then the whole setup will be different than the low voltage residential product.
Correct.
Yeah. What is the cooling technology? You already replied, is a passive. Yeah. I think so far these are the main questions.
Yeah, from my side, I have Oscar question. Can you go maybe back to the combiner box? Because for me also, I like this idea that you mentioned.
Wait a second. Let me check. Where is it now? Wait a second. I will show the. I will share the screen. Which one?
Combiner box.
Oh, combiner box.
Yes, please.
This one?
Yeah. No, after. When different capacity.
Different capacity.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. You mentioned there we can connect different capacity, like for example, one piece 5 kilowatt hour, one piece 10 kilowatt hour, one piece, for example, 14 kilowatt hour to increase the system capacity.
Yeah.
My question is how many pieces I can connect in this combiner box, like 50 pieces, 30 pieces, or how many pieces we can in one combiner box?
This kind of a solution, for example, like a combiner box for different capacity, is mainly for a residential side, and also we don't recommend that you make a big range of this solution. So this combiner box can only support 150 ampere for a current limitation. And you can see here, yes, it's maximum 5 pieces in parallel.
Max 5 pieces, different capacity in parallel.
Yeah, the combiner box I mentioned here is only for different voltage level and different capacity battery. So this kind of combiner box support maximum 5 pieces.
Okay, noted. Yeah.
Okay.
There is now also a new question from Mr. Arthur. You can check it in the chat.
Okay, how can I check the battery status remotely if it is away from us, like the other sites? For example, there are several ways. If you have a Wi-Fi dongle on the battery it is online. You can see on the application. I will show you here. Here, when the whole power plant is online, So you can see this wherever you are. Just you have the internet. You can see the inverter power range, the power SoC, and also if you are installer, you can see the SoC of every single battery cell. If you are not using Wi-Fi dongle in this battery pack, you can also see the SoC on the Bluetooth. But this kind of a control you cannot do it so far away. You have to keep in the Bluetooth range.
Yeah.
Maybe can I comment here, Oscar? Because like Mr. Arthur mentioned that it is in desert, so maybe there will be no Wi-Fi. So there is any maybe 4G dongle?
We're not providing 4G dongle. 4G is using in commercial industrial site.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have also some similar question. So this Wi-Fi, can you go back one slide earlier that to show the Wi-Fi connection?
Okay, this one?
Yes, please. So this is a plug and play. Is there a port that if we, because we don't have this product, the question is the Wi-Fi dongle available in Cebeleli? Certainly we will bring it since we know it now that there is a demand like that. So this card is already part of the BMS, but the outside unit is the one which will connect, I think, in the right bottom photo, there is some cable connection, one of the ports, you just connect it, right?
Yeah, you mean here? RS232?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's normal like a Cat5, like a cable?
This cable will come together with the Wi-Fi dongle. We will provide it.
Yeah, but the connection to the battery unit, is the port is already available?
You mean the port here?
Yeah.
It is available.
It's available. So it's just an extra item that we need to order. So maybe after this we'll get the SKU and then make it available for our customers who they want to connect.
No problem. For this, I will discuss with Mr. Thomas.
Sure. Yeah, the same customer is very keen on that point. Do we need to update battery software for this dongle when we connect it?
Pardon, I didn't catch you.
Last question in the chat. I think people like the chat function, not the Q&A. So if you can check the chat page.
I think maybe he just sent to you, sir. Because we cannot see.
Is it? Yeah, they're writing to me. Do we need to update battery software for this dongle, the Wi-Fi dongle?
You mean like a software?
When you connect, the system will be self-aware that there is a Wi-Fi. The BMS will automatically detect. How do you program?
After you connecting the BMS with the Wi-Fi dongle, and you download the Dyness application from Google Store or maybe App Store, it will be automatically activated. You can connect by Wi-Fi, connect to the battery by Wi-Fi.
But the Wi-Fi settings, most probably we need to do it with the Bluetooth, because how the system will log in to the existing, let's say if it's a home or if it's there's a private network, right? So it should log into that Wi-Fi first.
Yeah, you have to scan the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, and to connect it, and you set it on the application, and and then this application can be connected to the private internet.
To the Wi-Fi. So then the first Bluetooth connect the Wi-Fi to the available network, and then from there on, the app will also pick that up. So as long as there is internet anywhere in the world with that app, you will be able to monitor the battery functions and the charge level, etc.
Correct.
Yeah,
there is a new question.
Yeah, would you please explain a bit further the DC combiner? If a DC cabinet battery rack is utilized, is there a need for such DC combiner?
The necessity of using a combiner box or not. How you judge it comes from the DC current between the inverter and the battery system. For example, if you have only one inverter, which is 50 ampere for DC input, while you have 10 or maybe 20 pieces of batteries, in this kind of situation, you only need a bus bar, but you don't need a combiner box, because the whole current between the inverter and the battery will be 50 ampere, because the inverter can only receive 50. In this situation, you only need a bus bar to divide the current properly, but the current which is actually put in the inverter is only 50.
Yeah, so that is the electrical thing, right? So if you have a parallel connection, you keep the voltage equal, same, but more you add, more current, the ampere goes up, is in the battery. Whereas when you connect the batteries in series, then the ampere stays the same, but then the voltage keeps on increasing as you add more batteries. So I think the question is more like, if the ampere is high, then you are suggesting to divide into clusters, or just use the bus bar, so then the batteries are not subject to that much ampere running through them.
In our experiences, it is better to get the ampere level lower. For example, like for a 200 to 300 ampere current, it will be needing a larger bus bar or maybe a larger wiring. This will cause a lot more heat, and it will be more dangerous for a fire to put up. So if you have this kind of a condition, maybe it's better to get the ampere lower. This will decrease the danger of a fire.
So in the chat, I'm writing, any more questions, please send to sales@nastec.ae. So I think for today, these are the questions, and for everybody who participated, we will have a replay of this, as I said, on our YouTube channel, Nastec Solar YouTube channel. We'll share this with the email, but please feel free to contact us with any technical questions. We can always, discuss the commercial. As long as the product is right, is going to solve your problem. You need to understand that first. And then, of course, commercial part is necessary, but not number one for us. Thank you very much for everybody who participated. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Kingsley. Thank you, Naman. And thanks for everybody who watched this. If we don't have any other point, I'm closing this webinar.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If you have any further questions, you are free to reach out.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to everybody. Catch up with you on the next webinar. Oscar, are we going to announce that we are coming up with a EPC training program in the coming months that will be more step-by-step instructions, and then there will be a course offline online that our participants can go and then do free of charge, and then then they will be qualified to use and set up the Dyness products, especially low voltage. Can we get some promise from you, that commitment that we will do that program in the coming months?
Sure. For every month, I will prepare a proper webinar, or maybe a proper seminar, or at least it's a training. And as for the content we can discuss, it is You have my words here.
Sure, thank you. So please, everybody share your recommendations, requests, challenges with us. Then we will prepare our next webinar based on those recommendations. We are doing this for you, not for us. So please feel free. Thank you so much. Catch up with you on the next
Thank you.
webinar.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.